Hey everyone, Kyle once again, and welcome back to another review for Anime Month, and back to reviewing another anime movie. Because before when I reviewed Spirited Away, I want to review another anime movie, and which I enjoyed Spirited Away. Very well animated movie. And now we review a set of anime films, which of us on a series that I really love and enjoy. And that is of Inuyasha. So yeah, Inuyasha, which is this series that I really love and enjoy. They made four movies. So I'm gonna be covering the four Inuyasha movies, and the first one I have is the first one, which is actually the poster I have right there. Yeah, so the one with that one that's the poster of the first Inuyasha movie, Inuyasha the Movie, Affections Across Time. Oh, sorry. Affections Touching Across Time. My correction there. Affections Touching Across Time. So yeah, it's the same poster, which I have the poster I have right there. Which I thought was, and to me, honestly, that's the, of the four Inuyasha movies, I think this is the one of the best looking of the posters of the four movies. That's just me, though. But anyway, Inuyasha, Affections Across Time. Say the word touching. Affections Touching Across Time. This one the film was released in Japan in 2001, but then it was released in North America in 2004. So since it originally came out in 2001, that's what I'm gonna put it as. My title for the movie and the year of the movie came out, I'm going to put it as 2001. Because that's what it originally came out from, so that's what I'm going to put it as, 2001. And you have the same voice cast, same English voice cast. Richard Ian Cox is Inuyasha, Moneca Stori is Kagome, Kirby Morrow is Moroku, Kelly Sheridan as Songo, Jillian Michaels as Shippo. And I guess it is a very positive movie because it has I think it was a 7.1 or 3 at IMDb. And even on the back of here from Anime America, on the back here is saying, even better than the television series, Affections Touching Across Time takes Inuyasha to another level. So there's something positive about this one. So yeah, so in this one, and this takes place, as for each of these four movies takes place in times in between of seasons. So as this first movie, this takes place, I think it's after the end of the second season and the start of the third season. So between of season 1, season 2, season 3, for this first movie here. So in this plot, and also I've got the not only the English voice cast is good, and the music, which I like, with some of the once again music composed by Kuru Wada, who did the music for the television series. Good music, same thing. Good same music of the first, like the television series. And the animation, of course, this is like made for a theoretical release movie. The animation is a little bit styled for a theoretical release, as opposed for how animation is for a TV series. Like the difference, like the animation in Pokemon the first movie to the television series. And the character, I think, for I noticed, the design of the characters look slightly. I mean, they still look the same though, but I see a little slightly different design for the movie though, because for the theoretical release for the animation as well. So, but they still look the very same design characters with slightly different hints. If anyone notices though, if you watch the comparison to the movie and the TV show. But now getting into the story is that there is a story that Inuyasha's father he defeated a very powerful demon named Hyoga which was 200 years ago. Well, in the feudal era, 200 years ago. And now, of course, with the power of the Shikon Jewel, which has been scattered into pieces, it revives his son. It revives his son Minomaru, and he has these two female servants, or yeah, these two female servants, I would say, and they want us wants to basically. Minomaru wants the power of his father, but he can't because Inuyasha's father's Fang is like restraining the powers of his father, so he needs Inuyasha to use his Tetsaiga to unleash that power. So he needs to get him to break that seal. And then we get to the opening with also after with Kagome with her family. She's cooking like this meal for when she's going back to the feudal era. And the music, how the way the opening credits, with the flaming titles, I did like how the credits of the when it's showed in flames with the music. I did like that of the opening title sequence. And then and when Kagome gets back to the feudal era, reuniting with her friends and Inuyasha, they fight this big scorpion demon, Kilala, the demon. Two-tailed cat that Sango rides, which he can transform, a little cute cat, but transforms a bigger cat. She gets like a little bit of a poison cut, which is turns out to be the influence of one of Minomaru's servants. And then you get a funny scene where afterwards they're having a picnic they're eating of Kagome's home cooking. Of course, Inuyasha, being as dense as he is, it was he eats Kagome's cooking though, but he prefers eating the box of the box of Roman noodles, instant noodles, and Kagome gets pissed at him, and they gives him those the sit commands, it was like, Inuyasha, sit, boy. And he gives a seven, sit. And she goes and drives off on her bike angrily, and I was just watching like. That's just show for not concerning for Kagome's feelings. And so he goes out to, after. So Inuyasha goes off to talk to her again before she goes back, and then Inuyasha gets attacked by Minomaru, fights and he stabs him, but doesn't kill him though. And then the guys has this whole swarm of moths and knocks Kagome out, and he kidnaps her. And Miyoga, the little demon flea that has been around forever, he tells about, because he heard the Inuyasha say Minomaru, so he knows who he is, and tells about the history of what his father did to him and what he's about to do now. So they have to go after Kagome. So as for Kilala, is put under that evil spell because of the poison cut from one of the servants. Is with them now, and Minomaru puts the piece of the fractured of the Shikon Jewel piece, and then as one of the girl has this other thing, mixes it with the Shikon Jewel and puts it into Kagome's head. And then when they all get there, there's a little fight. But he used Inuyasha to break with his Tetsaiga to break the seal, and now Minomaru is going to use now to absorb his father's powers to become the new Hyoga. And with the two servants, I forget what their names are called. Rory and Hari. Forget which is which though. Well, I forget what, but this but one of them this one right here. You can see her right here. She uses this magic here to duplicate Moroku's power of his wind tunnel. All the wind tunnel is basically a black hole. Everything gets absorbed into his hand. So he gets to show she duplicates Moroku's wind tunnel for herself, and with the other one riding on Kilala, fighting. And now with Minomaru absorbing his father's power, he now makes this big tree grow, which is a tree, which is one of the Tree of Ages is called. One of the Tree of Ages makes this big huge tree grow, and now he's planning to absorb all living things as souls. All living animal, human, whatever, all their souls, make him more stronger. And then back where Lady Kaede in her village, Kaede, who was the younger sister to Kikyo, who was Inuyasha's first love. Kaede, she protected her village with with a barrier, with her priestess powers. And then you see it with Sesshomaru with Jokin and Rin. Jokin, he's once again, like basically Sesshomaru doesn't give two shits about him. I don't know why Jokin doesn't want to go on. Oh, but he's still loyal to him, even though he treats him like shit and just basically just steps on him basically afterwards. Well, he tries to fight with that staff of two heads, breathes out fire, but it doesn't do any good. And he gets stepped on by Rin and Sesshomaru. And then, but everyone gets separated. Like Shippo and Kagome make it back to Kaede, and you get this little bit of dark. You get little bits of dark stuff in this. I know the show has a lot of dark moments too, though. But in this one, Minomaru used a spell because what that was earlier planted in Kagome's head uses that to manipulate her. Control her body, even though Kagome knows that she can't control her body. Like in her mind, she's saying, "I can't control my body. I can't." She can't do anything because she's out of control of herself. Forcibly, she injures under the manipulation of Minomaru. She injures Kaede and goes after Inuyasha. Shoots these acid things at him, and then which leads to another Tree of Ages, which was the tree. When Kagome first saw Inuyasha, when he was bound to the tree, when he was first bound by the arrow of Kikyo, that same tree, and basically was going to do this. The same thing was going to happen to him again because she gets the arrow, even though she's telling him to get away from him, but he says, "No, I'm staying. I'm tired of being told to run away." But of course he doesn't run away. He just stands there for it to get hit. So even though when under the manipulation, even though she's resisting, she's crying, she says no in her mind, and she's no, and he gets hit by the arrow and he gets put under. Well, it's not like Kikyo's magic arrow that puts him to sleep permanently, but it does hit him. And then her spell gets broken, and she says she's sorry, and then Kikyo shows up. And she's like ironic, the same spot, same tree, same situation. She doesn't want to leave. Kagome doesn't want to leave him, but Kikyo, I would say that this is the one thing Kikyo, she was acting like a bitch to Kagome. I know because she's dead. Kikyo is dead though, so. I think I probably mentioned when I reviewed the series. She's dead. She's now wandering around. I know. Look at it's a little sad and depressed, acting all depressed. That hey, you're alive still. You can make the only reason to act like a bitch still, even though just because you're dead, you can act like that. But she tells Kagome by saying this you don't belong here. You and him were never meant to be together, and go back to your world. You don't belong here. That comes off. That's one of the bitchy things I've seen from Kikyo. And because the well where Kagome comes from between her and her world, it's starting to cover up by roots. And because of Kikyo, she makes her fall down the well and back into her side, back into her world now. And then I think I think this is the first, and then afterwards it's like the first time when she meets with Sesshomaru. I think this is the first time because he mentions like you're because Kiku said mentions you're Inuyasha's older brother. So I guess this is the first time they met because I watched the series and I think if I remember them meeting each other face to face. So I guess this is the first time they do meet face to face. And of course with Sesshomaru, of course he still despises his brother. And he's like, I'm still be the one to kill him. And then they both go their ways, and Kagome, she's back in her world, but things have changed on the other side though because of what Minomaru is doing. Is now her side is now gone into an everlasting winter, snowing everywhere. And then her mother brings up that the Tree of Ages, that's their shrine, it contains memories. So even though like when Kagome knows that Inuyasha's not right there with her, he can still go with the Tree of Ages. She can still sense him, and she can hear him talking to her, and tells her to find a way to get back, use an arrow or something. And she manages to cling out a piece of an arrow that was stuck inside the tree, and then she goes back and uses her sacred arrow to cut through the roots, and while Inuyasha recovers, about to chop off that tree there that's covering the well, when she shoots the arrow, it blows up right in his face. He's like, I didn't say to blow it. She's like, pardon me, you told me to use an arrow. And he says, I didn't say to blow us up. And Kagome apologizes for what she to Kaede for what she did. So they all head back to head towards Minomaru, and with Moroku and Sango. First they were hiding in this small cave with a barrier because with the moss and all. And he had them all with Hachi, the raccoon dog demon. Like they both want him to take him back to Minomaru, and Moroku's like, either come with us or be sucked into my hand. I thought it was kind of funny when Moroku says, either come with us or be sucked into my hand. So they all get there. But the way to defeat Minomaru, who's now become a gigantic like moth demon. And the only way to defeat him is the combine of Inuyasha's Tetsaiga and Kagome's Sacred Arrow. Of course, he seems powerful first, and of course, we all know how this all end with villains. You know, thinks he's winning, but then eventually they lose. So, yeah, all things end, and they do the combination and breaks the mark that was on Minomaru's forehead. Basically, the symbol of yin and yang. What you see, it's a symbol of yin and yang. He gets destroyed, and then everything's back to normal. They all go and fly off. Of course, with Miyoga, you know, like, oh, you stuck around this time because you always run away, which he always does. And then after during the credits, you have that song which I thought was pretty decent. No More Words. I thought that was a decent song that was playing during the end credits. No More Words shows like images of each of the characters, even characters that didn't appear in the movie, like with Kagome's friends from school. And then afterwards, you see that Inuyasha's back in her world where the sacred tree is, and he's asking, "Do you want something to eat, right?" And it's like, "Yeah, I want those yellow things." And she's like, "Oh, you mean my omelet?" "Nah, it was like that crunchy stuff." And he's like, "Oh, like the relish?" "Yeah, that was the only good thing I liked." And of course, once again, she gets pissed and fired up about it. It's like, "Inuyasha, sit, boy." Yeah. So yeah, I enjoy the first Inuyasha movie. I think honestly, this is the best one of the four movies. How I would rate the four movies, how I rate the movies is all in chronological order. So yeah, like the first one I like the best, second one, then the third one, the fourth one. So I like the best one is all in order. So the first one to me I think is my favorite of the four. So and the next one the second favorite, then the third favorite, and the fourth last one. So it's like how I think when I rated my Die Hard movies, I like how I rate them is like all in straight order. Same thing with here. Um, so that's how I rate it. I rate the four movies best in numeral order. So Affections Touching Across Time, I enjoy this one. This is my favorite of the four movies. And it's only on for 100 minutes if you watch it all the way through, including after the credits. But it's well paced. I would say I didn't think it was that. I don't think it was not that slow. But yeah, the English voiced cast was good. The music I liked. Like the dark, especially the dark moment when Kagome was possessed by or manipulated by Minomaru, attacking Inuyasha. I thought that was like a dark. I would say the problem with to me like the darkest moment of the movie. I would say. It was like oh, you know, she's being possessed and manipulated and attacking Inuyasha, and then she pins him to the same tree, like how it was with Kikyo. And the part when Kikyo was like straight up being a bitch to Kagome is like, you don't belong here. You know, go back to your world. You don't belong here anyway. You're never meant to be with him. I mean, that's just straight up being bitch, you know. So, better than that though, I still enjoyed it. I think as for the villains go in the move, as for the four movies for villains, I'll probably say I would put Minomaru as the best of the four movies because I think for the best part is what he did to me. I think is what edges. I think is for what he did to Kagome. I think I probably would. And as for villains, I think it goes straight. Once again, how I rate the movies. I think it's straightforward, you know. But I'll talk about the villain in the second movie though. But I think the villain Minomaru I thought was I think probably because for what he did to Kagome, I think I would put him as like the best of the four movies of the villain wise. So yeah, but that's my review for Inuyasha the Movie, Affections Touching Across Time. Which yeah, that's what I wondering. That's the poster I have. Oh, I forgot to mention. I wonder why I was missing something. The two servant girls. I forgot to mention about the two servant girls. Like this one right here. Sango Kilala managed to break free of the spell herself by ramming her head into the tree and break the seal, whatever. And Sango uses her Hiraikos to cut the girl in half. And as for the other one, she was doing, her and Moroku were doing a battle of the wind tunnels, you know, and hers kept on getting bigger and bigger, and eventually she got sucked into her own hand, and that was it. And Moroku says, someday that same fate will befall me. So I could forget those two servant girls, yeah. So one gets cut in half, the other one gets sucked into her own wind tunnel. And which honestly, I think though those two could have been left out though, but except for like a part of the manipulation what happened to Kagome, I guess. So, but I still enjoy Affections Touching Across Time. And I guess the poster I have, which I have, so I think it's like the best of looking at the poster of the movies, I'd say. But yeah, I enjoyed it. The animation looking for a theoretical release movie, I liked. Like I said, you can see slight designs of the characters, but they still look the same though. Like I said, just for the movies, if you look at that comparison, how they are in their designs are for the movies and then for the TV show, you probably can see a slight difference. Not too much, but slight difference. I know, I certainly noticed. I didn't notice, but I'm probably the only one who thinks they noticed it though. But and if has anyone ever seen the movies, just let me know what you think of the movies though. But I'm going to be covering all four now, so. But the first one I give thumbs up. I enjoy Affections Touching Across Time. That's me. That's the best one of the four. But thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next the next one. Let me see here. What was the name of the second one? The Castle Beyond the Looking Glass. Yeah, the Castle Beyond the Looking Glass. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you more for Anime Month later.